Howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of Tech with Travis. I'm your host, Travis, and today we are going to do something different. We will use Google Notebook LLM to review Agentic Workflow. If you are interested in Agentic Workflow, then buckle up for a deep dive into Agentic Workflow.
All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today,
Excited to be here.
we are going to be looking into this really interesting shift from AI agents to something called Agentic Workflows.
Right.
And our guide for this deep dive is an article from Cobus Grayling,
Okay.
who is an expert in AI and language,
Yeah.
and he's the chief evangelist at core.ai, so he
Wow.
definitely knows what he's talking about.
He does.
And he's got some really interesting thoughts about why this whole, shift is happening from, all the hype around AI agent, they were going to be doing everything for us to something a little bit different.
I remember when
Yeah,
that was all the rage.
totally.
Everybody was like, oh, AI agents, they're going to schedule our appointments. They're going to write our code. They're going to be our best friends.
Exactly.
Turns out it's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Still.
It's a work in progress.
A work in progress for sure.
Yeah. So where did things go wrong?
I like how you phrase that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
where did things go wrong?
yeah.
Like it was destined to fail.
Yeah. Well, Grayling actually lays out this stairway analogy
Okay.
to kind of show the evolution from large language models to AI agents.
Right.
And it kind of, shows how the technology is built step by step,
Yeah.
but also highlights that we're not at the top of the staircase yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still climbing.
We're only partway up.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of companies that jumped on the AI agent bandwagon, like Salesforce and ServiceNow, are starting to kind of shift their focus.
They are.
And, Grayling points out that the accuracy of these agents just isn't where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, he doesn't
Be super useful.
mince words about it either.
Yeah.
He just lays it all out there.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back on the stats either.
Right.
He mentions that the Claude AI agent computer interface,
Okay.
or ACI for short,
Mm-hmm.
is only working at about 14% of human capability. And overall, these agents are only succeeding about 20% of the time.
So what's holding them back?
Yeah, so what is holding them back? Why are they not as good as they could be?
Yeah. What are the bottlenecks?
What are the limitations?
Well, one major one is how these AI agents interact with the digital world.
Okay.
They rely heavily on web browsers,
Right.
which makes them susceptible to things like pop-ups and bad links.
Right.
Think about it. If you get tricked by those things sometimes,
Totally.
imagine what it's like for an AI to try to navigate that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like sending a robot toddler out to surf the web.
exactly.
Yeah. So how do we overcome this obstacle?
Right.
Have companies tried making these agents work directly with operating systems instead of browsers?
Some have.
Okay.
Grayling talks about how AI agents can potentially perform tasks in two ways,
Okay.
through those web browsers that we've talked about, or by interacting directly with the operating system's GUI. But there are challenges with both.
Okay.
Creating individual API connections for every application isn't really practical.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, those APIs don't even exist.
Right.
So,
So it seems like we have these AI agents with lots of potential,
yeah,
but some serious limitations
They do.
in how they actually work.
yeah.
And this is where Grayling's idea of agentic workflows comes in.
Okay, interesting.
So he starts by pointing out something I think we all know,
Yeah,
which is that the way we work with information today is kind of broken.
it is.
We are just drowning in data.
Totally inundated.
Inundated, yes.
Yeah.
And he mentions that knowledge workers spend something like 30% of their time just searching for information.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of time wasted.
It is, yeah.
Think of all the things you could be doing if you weren't searching for that email or that document.
Or that research paper, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where agentic workflows can really make a difference.
So,
Well, he says that they can not only find that information that you need,
okay.
but they can also synthesize it and make it understandable for you.
So they can make sense of it.
They're really good at reasoning and breaking down complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps,
Yeah.
and then chaining those steps together.
Like a workflow.
Like a workflow, exactly.
Right.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed by information, agentic workflows help us focus and get things done more efficiently.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and what's great is that these workflows are designed with transparency in mind.
Okay.
So you can actually track how the information is being processed.
You can see what's happening.
You can see what's happening, which gives you more control and understanding.
That's awesome.
So it's not just about finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the haystack itself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah. So think about the deep research feature in ChatGPT.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not a new model. It's actually a new capability that lets it do multi-step research online.
Oh, cool.
And Grayling points out that it can do in minutes what might take you hours.
Wow.
So instead of me going down like internet rabbit holes,
Right.
I can have ChatGPT do it for me.
Yeah, that sounds very useful.
I like where this is going.
I do too.
And it gets even more interesting when you think about Agentic RAG.
Agentic RAG.
Which Grayling also brings up.
Okay.
And this is where the information is customized for you.
Okay.
At a specific moment.
So it's personalized.
Having a personal research assistant.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So are the AI models themselves getting better at handling these more complex tasks?
They are.
Okay.
A big focus now is on building reasoning and problem solving directly into these models.
Interesting.
They're designed to break problems down kind of like how we as humans approach a difficult problem.
So they're moving beyond just giving information
Yeah.
to actually thinking things through?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They use something called a decomposition strategy to analyze a question piece by piece.
Okay.
This means their answers are becoming more accurate and nuanced.
Okay.
It's not just surface level understanding anymore, but actual logic and reasoning.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But I remember when we first started using these language models, we had to be really specific in our instructions.
We did.
We had to practically teach them how to think.
Totally.
Yeah.
It was like hand-holding.
It was a lot of hand-holding.
Yeah.
Like you had to, give them a few examples to show them how to reason and break tasks down.
Yeah. And a lot of prompting.
A lot of prompting.
And prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering, yes.
Yeah.
But as these models have evolved, they've gotten much better at reasoning on their own.
They have.
So the way we interact with them is becoming more intuitive.
Much more.
Yeah.
They're becoming more independent thinkers.
Cool.
Yeah.
We can focus more on the outcomes we want, rather than getting bogged down in all the technical instructions.
Yeah.
This is all so fascinating.
It is.
It feels like we're at a turning point in how we use information.
I think so too.
But before we get too excited, I think Grayling makes a really important point in his conclusion.
Okay.
He warns against getting caught up in the hype of specific tools or trends. Like all those companies that, branded themselves as RAG companies or prompt engineering playgrounds.
Yeah.
They might be missing the bigger picture.
They might be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not about chasing the latest shiny object.
Right.
It's about using these advancements to make a real difference.
Exactly.
Whether it's, improving customer experiences, streamlining operations, or tackling big societal problems.
Yeah.
The key is using technology to create real value.
That's what it's all about.
And I love that perspective.
Me too.
It aligns perfectly with what we try to do here on the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
We want to help you understand how these advancements can impact your life and empower you to do great things.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And Grayling's closing question is a perfect call to action for our listeners.
What is it?
How can we leverage technology to deliver meaningful solutions?
That's a great question.
And it's something we should all be asking ourselves both in our work and our everyday lives.
Yeah, how can we use these tools to make a positive impact?
Exactly.
That's what we should be focusing on.
And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And although we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, there's always more to explore.
There always is.
So stay tuned, because in the next part of this deep dive, we're going to go even deeper into the shift from AI agents to agentic workflows.
Okay.
We'll explore how this impacts different industries and what it means for the future of work.
Sounds good. I'm excited to learn more.
Me too.
All right.
Okay, so stay tuned. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
We are continuing our deep dive into the shift from AI agents to agentic workflows. So far, we've talked about, the limitations of these AI agents and how agentic workflows offer this more practical approach.
Yeah.
But how are these workflows actually changing things out in the real world?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
One area where we're seeing a big impact is customer service.
Okay.
Think about it. Instead of waiting on hold forever,
Right.
you could have your questions answered instantly with solutions tailored to your specific needs.
Okay.
That's the kind of change agentic workflows can bring.
That would be amazing.
It would.
No more battling with those like automated phone systems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No more pressing 1 for this, pressing 2 for that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But how does that actually work?
So these workflows are able to analyze huge amounts of customer data,
Okay.
understand individual preferences, and even predict potential issues before they even come up.
Wow.
This allows companies to offer a level of personalized service that we just haven't seen before.
So it's like having a whole team of customer service experts at your fingertips any time of day or night.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And that's got to be good for both customers and employees.
Absolutely.
Right.
We often hear concerns about AI taking jobs,
Mm.
but agentic workflows are more about enhancing human capabilities, not replacing them.
Okay.
They can free up employees from those tedious, repetitive tasks,
Right.
allowing them to focus on more strategic and creative aspects of their work.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So instead of spending all day like answering the same questions over and over,
Right.
customer service reps could spend more time building relationships
Exactly.
and solving more complex issues.
Yeah, and that leads to greater job satisfaction
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
those employees.
And it sounds like this isn't just limited to customer service, right?
You're absolutely right.
Like where else?
We're seeing agentic workflows making a difference in other industries like healthcare, finance, and even education.
Okay, so what are some examples?
Sure. In healthcare, these workflows are being used to help doctors make more accurate diagnoses.
Okay.
Imagine being able to analyze medical records, research papers, and even genetic data
Wow.
to identify the best course of treatment.
That's incredible.
It is.
It's like having a super-powered medical consultant right there with the doctor.
Exactly.
But when we're talking about this level of data analysis, especially in sensitive fields like healthcare,
Right.
we have to consider the implications, right?
Absolutely. You bring up a good point.
Yeah.
It's crucial that we use these powerful technologies responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
However, the potential benefits are enormous.
Yeah.
Think about how this could revolutionize personalized medicine and drug discovery.
Yeah, like the possibilities are kind of endless.
They are.
It definitely seems like we're entering a new era
Yeah,
where the lines between human and machine are becoming blurry.
I agree.
It's exciting,
It is.
but also a little daunting, wouldn't you say?
It is. It's both exciting and a little bit scary. But remember, technology is ultimately a tool.
Right.
It's up to us to decide how we use it and what kind of future we want to build.
Right.
Grayling emphasizes that the real power of these technologies is in applying them to solve real-world problems and create a positive impact.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
not about the technology itself,
Right.
but about how we use it to make the world a better place.
Exactly.
So in the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some potential scenarios for the future of work in a world increasingly shaped by these agentic workflows.
Okay. Sounds good.
We'll look at the skills you might need to thrive in this new landscape and how you can prepare for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
That's what we're all here for.
Exactly. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into agentic workflows.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the limitations of AI agents, the rise of these new workflows, and their real-world impact.
Right.
Now let's kind of look ahead
Yeah.
and imagine what the future of work might look like in a world shaped by this technology.
That's the big question, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
where is this all going?
Yeah, are we all going to be out of jobs? Are we all going to be,
Right.
living in some kind of utopia?
We're all going to have to learn to code.
Yeah.
Or will the robots do it for us?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
But while we can't predict the future with complete certainty,
Of course not.
we can kind of look at current trends and make some educated guesses.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And one thing that seems pretty likely is that, that traditional 9-to-5 office job is probably going to look very different.
It is.
So you're saying those office birthday parties and water cooler chats might become a thing of the past?
They might.
Yeah. But seriously, what specific changes are we talking about?
Well, one big change could be the rise of remote work and flexible schedules.
Oh, okay.
Agentic workflows can handle a lot of the tasks that used to require people to be physically present in an office.
Yeah.
This means you could potentially work from anywhere with an internet connection.
That would be a game changer for a lot of people. It could lead to a better work-life balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what about the nature of the work itself?
Yeah.
Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
That's the big fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
But not necessarily.
Oh.
Well, some jobs will likely be automated.
Right.
Agentic workflows are more likely to change how we work rather than replace us completely.
Okay.
This means the jobs of the future will require a different set of skills.
So what kind of skills should we be focusing on to thrive in this new world of work?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think adaptability is going to be key.
Okay.
Technology is evolving so quickly
Yeah.
that the ability to learn new skills and adapt to new situations will be essential. Think of it as lifelong learning becoming a necessity, not just something nice to have.
Right. We can't just rely on the skills we learned in school
Exactly.
early in our careers.
Yeah, you got to keep learning and growing.
Yeah. What other skills will be important?
Critical thinking will be crucial.
Okay.
Agentic workflows can process mountains of information.
Yeah.
But you still need human judgment to make sense of it all.
Right.
You need to be able to identify biases, separate fact from fiction, and ask the right questions.
So it's not enough to just know how to use the technology.
Right.
We have to be able to think critically about the information it gives us and make informed decisions.
Yeah, it's a partnership between humans and AI.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And don't forget about creativity.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
AI is getting better at certain tasks,
Right.
but it still struggles with things that require originality and imagination.
So those who can think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions will still be in high demand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the ability to see things differently,
Yeah.
connect seemingly unrelated ideas, and come up with novel solutions.
Right.
That'll be incredibly valuable in this new world of work.
For sure.
It sounds like the future of work is going to be a very dynamic and ever-evolving landscape.
It is.
It's exciting.
It is.
But I also wonder about the human element. With all this focus on technology, what role will human connection and collaboration play?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
While technology can help us connect and collaborate more easily, we can't forget the importance of real human interaction.
Yeah.
You know, we need to find ways to come together, brainstorm, share ideas, and build relationships.
Right.
Think of technology as a tool to enhance those connections, not replace them.
So it's about finding a balance between leveraging the power of technology and nurturing those human connections that are so vital to our well-being and success.
Absolutely.
It sounds like the future of work holds a lot of exciting possibilities, but also some challenges.
It does.
So what's the one key takeaway you would want our listeners to remember
Okay.
as they navigate this new world?
I think the most important thing to remember is that the future is not something that just happens to us.
Okay.
We have the power to shape it.
Right.
By understanding these emerging technologies and embracing a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, we can create a future of work that benefits everyone.
That's a powerful message and a perfect note to end on.
It is.
We hope this deep dive has given you some insights into the exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
I think it has.
And we hope it's inspired you to think critically about the role you want technology to play in your work and your life.
Yeah,
So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
absolutely. Thanks for listening, everybody.